Yeah.
Oh, it's now. Nope. Maybe. Is this the
Yeah.
stupid face?
Yeah. That's your stupid face. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're live.
We're just waiting for like the stuff to load. That's so funny.
I
Okay.
know. I know. I always do it.
All right. Now it works. Does
There
it?
we go. We're live. Yeah. We're
All
live.
right. This is the first time we've done it with Zoom. And I'm just surprised that it's working, to be honest. Like,
I'm happy.
I didn't think so. Is there a way to put us like side by side? Oh, wait, the gallery view. I think that does it.
Let's see.
I think that's how it happens, right? We have to wait 30 seconds before the magic happens. And then
Zoom is just so annoying. These intros are so awkward, like every single time.
Right. And I know that like Zoom went public and then they found like this like a back door that anybody could access the camera. And now nobody wants to use Zoom, but they're public freaking out. Yeah, that's why they pushed an update to everybody like 3 weeks ago. They're like, you have to update.
It's really? Damn, I didn't even notice this.
Yep. But we're not here to talk about that at all, right? We're not here to talk about Zoom and the first time this is working and why not having all that. We're here to talk about like you and your journey and your story. And I think you and I originally got connected through Andrew Cruzy and Authority Accelerator, correct?
Exactly.
And that's where you mentioned that. I mean, when we were talking like pre-showing and all that, you were talking about how like you're a pizza boy and like Facebook ad agency and all that, which like, I mean, that's a very like hero's journey. You know what I mean? Like pizza boys all the way down here. And now like CEOs.
It makes for nice like Facebook posts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like pizza boy, right? So, like, I was hoping that you could talk a little bit about like your Facebook ad agency journey when it got started, because a lot of people in this group are like starting out. They're actually where you were at pizza boy status, even though it's not pizza boy. And like, I still remember like being in like my parents' spare bedroom saying, what the hell am I going to do with myself? And I'm making no money and no time and no energy. And I probably had to get a side gig if like my bike client didn't come around. So like, what was the start of your Facebook ad agency journey like?
Well, I mean, when we so let's like before we even got started, the whole pizza boy thing. So I had graduated from college. Like I actually went to university in Amsterdam. I'm South African originally. I lived in the UK for most of my life. Been bouncing around. Then I went to Amsterdam kind of on a whim. I graduated and was, I mean, like as a student is like just so poor, but I didn't like just unfortunately, without trying to like milk the rags to riches thing, I had like zero financial support. Yeah. And so we were just so poor. And then Uber Eats had just come to the Netherlands. I don't know. You guys obviously have Uber Eats in the States.
Oh, right? Yeah. Uber Eats is like a normal thing. Yeah. I don't remember when it came here because it's always been like
really. Yeah. It was like I mean, just as I graduated, it was like perfect. This is like, so now it's like 5 years ago for us, you know? And it was like perfect because they said like, download this app, come pick up a bag and you're now a pizza boy and you'll make like, you know, like $20 a day, which for me was like so much money. You know what I mean? I was like, I could eat, I could chill, you know? And so like, we were in this phase and I had like dabbled, right? So like when I was in uni, I was kind of learning web design, like sitting in the back of classrooms, learning web design, that kind of stuff, like kind of trying to figure out how I was going to make some dollars. And so one day, literally how I got started in like Facebook ads agency, all of that stuff was I went home. I was like, dude, I've got to fucking, sorry, can I swear here? I was just basically, I was like, I've got to figure this out, man. So I went home and I opened Google, true story. I opened Google.
Wait, you had already started Uber Eats driving at this point, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I went home and like, you know, web design, I just had no clue what I was doing. Like I didn't know anything about client acquisition. I didn't know anything about Facebook ads. I literally didn't know anything about web design either. I just figured out that you could get guys on like Fiverr to do it for like $100 and then you could charge someone $600. You know what I mean? Yep. So I was like, so I literally went home one day and I was like, fuck, I gotta figure this out. And I Googled how to make money online, right? I was like, I just got it because most of like the Netherlands was Dutch. The reason I was like sticking around was like the classic I'd met a girl story. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna hang around here. Point,
like you're originally from South Africa, right?
Yeah.
Were your parents with you in the Netherlands?
No. So I was totally alone. Like I was just
like you graduated and the best thing you had was Uber Eats delivery driver.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
I mean, most of the thing, I mean, a lot of my friends actually were like, they were getting jobs. Like most of our friends were like all European over there, like a couple US guys. And there were like jobs for English speakers in the Netherlands. But I actually did one interview in my entire life. I've been for one job interview, and I like walked in. It was like in this middle of this like fucking place. There was this building, and I just remember it was like just one of my darkest memories ever. I swear. I went in, she sat me down, and she's like, "Okay, so like, tell me about yourself." I was like, "Oh my god, I can't do this." And I like walked.
Like, I don't want to tell you about me,
dude. I don't even want, like. I walked through this like this office space, and there's everyone like sitting there, like kind of like worker bees and shit, just doing their thing. I was like, "Oh my god!" I left that place, and I was like, so that's how I got into Uber Eatsing actually. So then I was like, "Okay, no, I'm gonna Uber Eats, and I'm gonna figure something out." You know, we're Uber Eating for a bit. I got lazy because I was like, "Yeah, I'm making $20 a day. I'm super rich." You know, so
funny how like perspective changes, like 20
so
bucks
much. Yeah, it's so funny. You know,
this is crazy. I can eat all the food that I want. This is
dude, I was eating like 3 bowls of spaghetti a day. I was bowling. You know what I mean?
This is great.
And 2 beers.
Ramen noodles. This is gonna
exactly like 8 packets of ramen noodles and 2 beers. I was bowling. So so that's how we kind of got into like pizza delivery and stuff. And then so I went home, like Googled how to make money online, like true story. It's totally how I found out about the whole Facebook ads agency space. One of the first things that popped up was obviously Tai Lopez. And this guy, so I was, you know, as useless as that guy's courses, everything like that. I mean, he's crazy inspirational. You know what I mean? For what we can give him, he's crazy inspirational. Correct. And so I was like, oh my God, like, okay, like I can do that. Like, you're a smart kid, you can do that. So I did this whole thing, got this course, like gave it a little run through, and I managed, like when we had first started, I like managed to get through like a little referral, somebody to pay me $2,000 a month, this like a fashion label in Milan, which was like a pretty serious deal. It's like a really serious, if you say this, the name of the company, I don't know if I should name drop, but because then this is going to sound fucking shitty, because I didn't know how to run Facebook ads at the time. So they paid me, and I was like, oh my God, it's going to happen. So I ran home and I quickly learned how to do Facebook ads, all of that. And I was doing.
You don't get to skip over the first win. Okay, hold on. Wait. Okay. So you bought Tai Lopez's course, right? Yeah. Was it the $1,000 course or like the $97 course?
I think no. I think it was like $997 or something like that. It was the full, and this was literally like it was eating like 4 packets of ramen noodles less every day, like kind of keeping some pennies aside, saving it up. I was like, come on, I'm gonna get this course, and then I ended up like borrowing a bit of money from a friend. But I was like, come on, trust me, man. Like, just trust me. I'm gonna be super rich. I'll pay you back. You know, I'm gonna get my Lamborghini. I'm gonna pay you back. The
mansion and the mall is gonna be amazing, right?
Exactly.
And so you do what was in the course, and it's like, does he have like a version of Curious Student? Because that's how like I got started. But like, does he talk about like reach out with a certain script or something like that?
No, yeah. So what I did, I don't know. I've always been like kind of confident enough to like, so I never shut up about it. So anyone I knew, every friend, I was like, yo, like, you know, I can take companies massive now.
Gotcha.
You know, and eventually someone put me in touch, and it was actually like the granddaughter of the founder of this fashion label in Milan. I'd known through a mutual friend, and you know, I was like, you know, come on,
like I can make this happen. You know?
Exactly.
Right. And then
yeah, go.
How did you go from a conversation to like, hey, you should pay me money? And the reason why I bring it up is because everyone's like, I don't know if it's going to work. Maybe free trial, $400, but you landed 2 G's, which is like a great entry fee.
Yeah.
Right. So what? You know,
so I think having it be a referral is like a massive, I mean, obviously, you know, like closing a referral is so much easier now in retrospect. You know what it was? It was like one of those things where, because I didn't know what I didn't know, I wasn't in my head at all. You know what I mean? So like I'd seen people run Facebook ads, and they were like, yeah, it works. And I was like, okay, awesome.
I could do that too. This is great.
Exactly. So I literally winged it completely. Like I got in an email thread with this lady, and then I was like, okay, let's get on a call. And she puts me in like, you know, the main point of contact was whoever doing their advertising, their marketing, and all of that kind of stuff. And she put me in touch, and I was like, yeah. And I just winged it. I actually have what's super nice is I have that email thread saved.
That's so awesome.
I always tell my girlfriend, like, one day we're going to frame this email thread, and it's just like going back and forth. We sent this invoice, and it was like one of those, like, not even like Stripe or pay funnels or anything. It was just like a document with a bank number at the bottom. You know what I mean? And it was like,
no way. And they just transferred the money to you.
I didn't know anything, man, anything. So I sent this document, and we were like, come on. And then my bank account goes ping. $2,000. I was like, oh my God,
it fucking worked.
We're fucking rich.
And then you Googled how to do it.
Dude, totally. I mean, so I don't know if you've ever been through Ty Lopez's courses, but like, I mean, they're really pretty shocking. Okay. So they're not like, I still didn't really know what the word lead generation meant. You know what I mean? So I'd done through this whole thing. And so what we ended up running for them was like these content schedule, basically a combination of content scheduling and boosted posts. And that's what I thought, digital advertising was, just run a content schedule and put like $20 behind each of them. And that's what digital advertising is. Now this company's going to get big. So they dropped me after so we actually went through 2 payments, which was cool. It's $4,000. And they were super polite about it. Actually, they ended up giving me like a nice testimonial. They were so sweet to me. They were like, look, so we're going to go with someone here in Italy. And I was like, yeah, I totally understand. The local market will be better. And I kind of just like slid out of it. I was like, but what would be incredible is if you could like hit me with one of those testimonials, just record a video for me or just shoot through a message, anything like that I can screenshot. And they were like super sweet about it. And so that was my first ever like real entry, real bullshit entry into the game.
You didn't have the run it for free and then your clients hate you because they don't do anything, even though you're generating leads. You had the super professional company that's overly polite, that wants to pay you up front. Like you had the perfect experience.
Exactly. Through a referral, everything just floated through so nicely. So that's like that, obviously in the long run that it doesn't work out like that because not everybody knows, the friend of a friend of the granddaughter of some fucking $1 million fashion label in Milan, So it was just like super fortunate circumstances, but it like threw me like head first into this industry. And like, first of all, that $4,000 I emptied straight away on like more courses. I still didn't even know what a Facebook group was at that time. And I think I'd been following Josh 40 for a long time. And Josh did an interview with Andrew, and Andrew was my first introduction with Facebook groups. Like this is how like completely noob I was. And so I got in, and it was like, slowly but surely, I learned that there wasn't just like these bulk courses that I was finding online, but you could go like super specific, like I learned the shit out of bots, and then you learn the shit out of Facebook ads from someone else, and then copy from someone else, and then all of these different little things. And it would like, that's when it just started to get faster and faster and faster and faster. But with like, even right in the beginning, we were kind of getting once-off clients and here and there, always word of mouth, always that kind of stuff. But before we kind of got into, pre-system, which I'm going to show you now, which was the DMs and that kind of shit. Then someone taught me how to DM and how to, how to manage conversations, and, even what a free trial was versus what a paid trial was, and how to actually generate leads. And then so it just started to like kind of spiral. And just got headfirst into it. And I mean, we hit the 10K marker pretty fast. Just through like, I mean, this is back like, this is like what, 2 or 3 years ago now, when DMs were so like unspammed, and this was like, still pretty new. And so it was like super easy to clean up house and get meetings. And and then, we started to, as of like pretty recent, we really started to get serious and really focus on, okay, like, if we're going to go down this route long-term and we want to make this as big as we wanted to, then we need something scalable. You know what I mean? So I had met a couple of guys, and actually there's a whole, I'm ranting. Just tell me if you want me to like focus in, but
you got 30 seconds, then we're going to focus real back. Yeah,
exactly. So there was this whole other portion. So while I was getting into this, I had met another guy at a festival from Canada, and they were starting this blockchain consultancy firm. And so this was my first introduction to systems. So this guy says to me, he's like, yo, so you're like a digital marketing expert. And I was like, oh yeah, like the best in the world.
Totally. Yeah, completely.
Totally. Yeah. And he says, we need a CMO for this company. Like, as we put it all together, you want to join? And I was like, yeah, I want to join. And this company went to like 7 figures in like its second month of operations. Like, we were charging $150,000 retainers. We were printing so this is 2017, which was like the gold rush for cryptocurrencies and crypto launches, everything like that. And so we made an incredible like amount of money super fast there, which died off pretty fast. Like the company had to pivot more into a financial, where we act more as like a financial services and much more like what an investment bank does for like initial public offerings. You know what I mean? We're kind of doing for what ICOs do now.
Gotcha.
So we had to completely shut down the marketing division, which is cool. I mean, I still own my percentage. I've sold off most of my shares from this company, which put us in a pretty chill space. And then, now we're, over the past like 6 months, a year, got back into agencies and are just scaling with like a much more well-rounded idea of scaling systems.
Gotcha. So let me just kind of rehash real fast. So you start out, you get Tai Lopez's course, of somebody that gives you the first big shot. Of course, it doesn't work out, but through DMs and conversations and just, what is that, like hustle and grind or whatever it is?
Yeah, exactly.
You end up building an agency that works. You get recruited to go work as a CMO at another company. That was the first time you experienced what we call systems or systems engineering, or building stuff that works together. So custom research that fits into an ad, and then active campaign, and then click send, and then text message reply, and then Google Sheets, like all those like different softwares and tools, but strung together so they just do a thing really, really well.
Exactly.
And like systems is really not as hard as you think. It's just, it's engineering, because it's just you're putting shit together. You don't have to be an engineer. Like, we're in marketing. We're collectively not that much smarter than IKEA instruction manuals. But if you just start thinking stuff in terms of like, how do we glue this together to make a thing work, you're starting to think like a systems engineer. I'm going through this transition right now with my Wallet Out campaign, which is like what I call my Facebook ads program, because I've always viewed myself as the only person that could generate leads for my agency. Then somebody said you could run Facebook ads, right? Then somebody said you could do cold emailing. But you've got something different, right? You've got a way to take that I can only generate leads for myself. I got to talk to the decision maker. And you kind of like cloned you 10, 20 times through like cold phone calls or something like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it was actually like another buddy of mine, Ross Christoffoli, who takes like mad credit. Massive shout out to Ross for like that initial part. So like, what I'm
doing. Let me give a quick plug. He's doing Carrot Con in Chicago, I think coming up later this year.
Yeah.
He'll send you a ticket that you can give in exchange for money. Just there you go.
Legend guy. And it was, you put it super perfectly, right? So, being a systems engineer, and that's kind of what I talk about like in my Facebook group a lot, is there's two ways of doing this, right? One is like a glorified freelancer, which is like, there's absolutely no shame in that word at all. I feel like people say, but you created your own job and you're making like 5-10 grand a month. That's fucking amazing, right?
Yeah.
Incredible. So but you need to also be honest with yourself, right? Like, are you the CEO of a company or are you glorified freelancer? Because the way I view a CEO of a company is very much how I view like a car mechanic. So that's kind of what I view myself at my company. And, I'm the car mechanic and my company is a car, right? And your objective is to build like a fucking, German built beautiful race car, you know what I mean? Something really, really immaculate that runs really, really well all the time. And you become the dashboard, you know what I mean? Like there's a little red light that comes up and the car needs oil. And so you need to go in and you need to assist some people with some oil changes, or the wheels gets flat and you need to come in and fix that. Or, or the market changes, right? The road ahead starts to get bumpy and you need to come in and you say, okay, how are we going to like now adapt? Do we need like self-automating driving cars? Is that where the market, like, how am I going to adapt my company to be able to run on its own, right? So that's really what I got obsessed with, was kind of where it came down to was, could I do this exact same thing 10 times as much as I'm doing it without a single piece of more effort from me? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So could I do this?
What you're doing, or getting 10, 20 Michaels, right?
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And so, that's kind of when I started just become super, super obsessed with systems, is like, I started to realize that, oh shit, like, I don't need to be the one DMing. And, at first you're like, okay, but like, Mike, I can't afford a team. Like, what am I doing? I'm making $5 grand a month. I'm 10
no, my DMing is perfect. Nobody can do it better than me.
Exactly. And there's all these like things that you convince yourself, no, it's impossible. I can't get past that stage because I just don't have it. So we just got obsessed with like, how lean can we make this? Like, how many parts of this can work off of commission? How many parts of this can be alleviated? We actually don't need to hire somebody because we can make that entire thing run on automate with the system, like you said. And like, how scalable can we actually make something? Can our agency possibly handle 100, 150 clients at one time without taking any more effort on my part? And then what would that look like, right? And as soon as you kind of get in that mindset,
then it all works. So like,
exactly.
What is really standing out to me of what you're saying is that like you started off normal Facebook ad agency owner, secretly a freelancer. You got the client, you fulfilled the order, you took care of them, great, fine, perfect. But after going through that a few times and seeing a better way of working, you're making the transition. I think what I'm understanding is that you've developed like a certain way of working or certain things so that you've got 5, 10, 15, 20 Michael Laurens running around town. And they're all doing a specific thing. So like if the car needs oil, you got a person doing the oil, right? If like the car needs to do automatic driving, you got that person. And you've got like a dashboard. Is that like the right way to think about this?
Exactly. And
gotcha.
to add and to stress, you can make 10 or 20 U's working on commission. There's no need that people are crazy, especially when you just said change a tire. Why am I going to put somebody on full-time salary when that tire might only need to be changed once or twice a month? You know what I mean?
So that's my problem. And
exactly.
It's like, go on.
No, I was just going to say, so exactly. So like, I'll pay you X amount of dollars per time that you change that tire, you know, and then
correct.
So long as it's profitable for me, I can keep paying you.
I think what my biggest challenge, like looking back 6 or 12 months ago, was knowing that I was the best person to do this job, which is incorrect. There are people better at you doing this job, right? They're specialized. They know how to do Facebook ads or landing pages or soap opera sequence. They know how to do that, right? But it was that plus there's no way there's enough work for a full-time person. And there's no way I could spend how much time, however, to train a person to do it.
Exactly.
So all those things came together for me to be stuck as a freelancer, which is fine. But if you want to move over here, you have to think differently, correct?
100%.
And I think this is like your new, I think we called it like the experimental client getting system, right?
Yeah.
That anybody watching this, like he's going to do a screen share, which I don't think he's done for a lot of people. And you don't have to like look at this and be like tempted of like, oh my God, what am I supposed to know? He's just going to show you everything because I think you genuinely believe like this is just a better way of working, correct?
100%. Yeah. I mean, and so for everyone that's like daunted about, so like, I mean, now we're averaging like 100, 200 appointments booked every single month, which is like beautiful, right? The whole point of what we've done now is like consistency. That's kind of what it comes down to. What we've got super stoked about is just like consistency. You know, I consistently know like plus or minus, it's going to be X amount of appointments, which means it's going to be X amount of sales calls, which means X amount of proposals sent, which means X amount of proposals paid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so flippin' easy. Like, it's like, trust me, I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I'm 100% not the smartest guy at our agency. Just like you were saying, there's people better than you. You know, when I kind of like killed that when I had that ego death was when we were at this blockchain consultancy firm, and we, like I said, we had like a ton of money flowing around. And what I did was, the first thing I did was I hired people that were way smarter than me. Like, I interviewed a guy and he's talking to me about like the perfect soap opera email sequence to the urgency sequence, this funnel to that thing. And I was like,
I have no idea what that means.
Like, that sounds like a good idea. I love that you're, you know, giving it ideas. And I was like, let's implement it. You know what I mean? What's your rate? And I was like, cool, let's get that set up. And then, yeah, I mean, that's really what I feel like I can't stress enough is you don't need to be the smartest guy at your agency, you know?
Gotcha. I think now is a good time for you to show the first bullet point that we talked about.
Cool.
Because of the first bullet point, I think you can request, or I don't know how you're going to share your screen.
Let me see. I think I can just go. Let me see what I got.
Because Michael's figured out how to get 20 people a week applying to do cold calling for him, and he doesn't have to train them. It's all automatic. It all makes sense. And it's using, I think, the webinar process that we all know of, correct?
Exactly. Like so basic. So it's like a 15-minute video. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's actually, damn, I haven't even pulled up these. Sue is with us live. Nice. Yeah. And if you guys, so what I want to say throughout this, first of all, give us a woohoo if you guys are excited to see it. And if at any point you want to stop me, like ask questions, anything like that, like don't hesitate. I've actually just opened it. So feel free to shout. But yeah, let me see if I can screen share and we can get into some of the good stuff. Who can see my screen right now?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Hell yeah. Okay, so to keep you guys excited before, like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you, like, this part comes in 3 parts, right? Number 1 is how you're going to get a bunch of people cold calling for your agency. Again, massive, massive shout out to Russ Christofoli. He's like the one that really put me on this. Then what we got very good at is what we were talking about with this systems thing. This entire process runs on Automate. We have very, very, very little permanent staff. In fact, barely any permanent staff, because we just don't need to. Our systems do it for us. It's just a mess of Zapier and boards. And then I'm going to show you basically how we sell on Automate and how we get all of these, like our proposals sent out on Automate. And then you're just doing this at scale, right? So
good shit.
Cool, right? So to kind of kick everything off, it's like super basic. So we have a little like webinar that you can register for, and like check this out. So the hook is obviously just like how to make $30 an hour working from home. And what we do is we pay our appointment setters $10 to $15. So on average, about $15 for the ones that we like. We'll pay you $15 per appointment showed up. Okay. So if one of my closers picks up the phone and the guy doesn't know who the hell we are or ditches the call completely, that's not an appointment set, right? So we'll ditch that and you won't get paid for it. But most of them are like good enough now that all of their appointments know exactly who we are and what's going on. So it's $15 per appointment set, right? That's kind of on average, like a very, very, very like some of our like people working for us are like stay-at-home moms and stuff. Like those people are the ones that get 2. Most people, like if you're good, get like 3, 4, 5 appointments booked an hour, right? And so you can just see it scales up super fast. So
these people that are applying to be cold callers for you, right?
Yeah.
It's just like are you running a Facebook ad to this, or how do they find out about this?
Good question. So you can literally do this anywhere. Craigslist, like you can show this to your mom. You can show this to your mom's like little wine buddies and things that she hangs out with a week, like anybody. So like for me, for example, we did this on Craigslist. We did this. If I just show you, like, here's an example of literally anywhere. Hey guys, like US Canadian visas only if you want. Literally doesn't matter where it is, but hey, we're hiring in our sales division. Like if you want to be a part of one of the fastest growing agencies, drop I'm in below and you'll get this and this and this and some cool things and we'll train you, and see like a bunch of comments, just people, 46 comments of
That's so cool.
Cool, right? Yeah, exactly. And so we shot them through. Everybody gets this link and it's now we're hiring. They get to the end where they can damn it, I don't have the back end of that thing. But they get through, they apply. And what's really cool is that we have so they'll go through, they'll apply to work with us. And then once they've submitted their application, they go to a page literally. So here's what I'm talking about. Like I think about everything that I do. Can I do it 10 times more without any more effort on my part? So straight away, we're getting like a bunch of people applying. What's the first thing that happens? Like, fuck, I'm talking to a bunch of people who I was taking a bunch of calls with like some people, like, God bless them, I love them, but are not going to work out as setting appointments from agency. And so what we did was we automated that too. So now you go through to a messenger bot at the end. You've just applied, submit application. It'll be like, cool, click here to confirm your application and make sure you hit get started. And they'll go through and they'll go through this messenger bot. Cool, like click here to confirm, and please send us a video of yourself, 1 to 2 minutes, telling us something fun or interesting about you. Doesn't have to be work related, right? That way, you can just tell in 2 seconds, like, yeah, that guy's cool, he'll be fine. You know what I mean? Yeah. If I can give him the script and the call sheet, he'll be fine, right? And the reason that we're able to hire anybody, right? The reason I say like your mom and her buddies can start setting appointments for you is because of our training portal. So again, shout out to Ross. This is like the guy that put me on all this portal. But inside of this portal, they're getting completely trained up. They're getting their scripts. They're getting the cold call strategy. They're getting like their scripts for success, everything like that. And inside, so we've added like a bunch of little things in this that just make it super perfect, right? So we provide them with a call sheet on a weekly basis that you can get from different softwares or things. What we do to keep it very specific is I don't know if anyone doesn't know this, you can go to Upwork right now, and for 10 to 20 cents per contact, you can get data miners. Just literally create a job posting data miner, and they're going to data mine for you anything that you want. So data mining real estate agents, or data mining gyms in United States. Get them to send you a sample. I won't like lag too much on that, but get them to send you a sample of 10. You'll get like a bunch of people responding. Get all of them to send you a sample of 10. Take those samples and plug them into a like online email checker free thing. Well, I don't know what you call them, but that's just all I Google.
It's probably if you Google that, you have it. Just
yeah, it'll be the top link. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, just pick the one with the highest score on those email checkers, and the guy that just go with your gut, and then you just provide them with a sheet. Inside here, they'll get trained up. They'll get their scripts. Should I do it? Should we do that? The little,
as long as you're comfortable. Like, what I don't want is like somebody saying something that's specific to you that you're not comfortable sharing, right?
I'm if you guys want, I can do a little giveaway now.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If you guys want a little copy. So what we do is we have a perfect little script that works flawlessly. And I'll kind of take you through the mental process of how like the entire closing process works. But if you want our script that turns like literally 1 out of every 2 cold calls into a like meeting with the decision maker, just drop #script down below right now, #script, and I'll make sure that you guys get a copy of our script. But I want to give you an idea before I get into the script of how the flow works, right? So it's pretty simple. It's like a 3-part process, okay? Number 1 is we have our appointment setters setting ads. And this is the same as like what I want you guys, the mentality I want you to have is this. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be our system. You can do it. I know Jeff just did it like a fucking badass cold email masterclass. You can also learn how to generate leads through Facebook ads for your agency to a VSL, or they all do the same thing. This is my top of funnel. Okay.
Yep.
So my $15 a lead is like my top of funnel, right? That's just, I know exactly what I'm paying per lead, and it's $15 because that's how much I pay my appointment setters. And then what will happen is, your appointment setter is set an appointment. Okay. And kind of how it goes. The reason why your mom can do this for you is because the call goes like this. So Jeff, let's do it. Let's do a little role play here. So
okay, I'm in. Let's go.
You're a gym owner. Okay. So bring.
Hey, what's going on? This is Jeff's gym.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing today?
Doing awesome. What's going on?
Good. I had a quick question. Do you guys, do you offer personal training? I already know the answer is yes.
Yeah, the answer is going to be it. Yeah, of course you offer personal training. How can I help you?
Awesome. I'm calling on behalf of my boss, Jasper. Jasper is one of our closers. I'm calling on behalf of my boss, Jasper. He was hoping to set up a time with you guys to see if you'd be able to take on like an extra 5 to 10 personal training clients next week.
Yeah, I guess, but what is this about?
So, like how the whole thing works? You mean like where these, so there basically we're looking for someone in your area. We need a gym in your area that would like be able to take on a bunch of referrals. We get about 5 to 10 individuals in your area asking to be referred to personal training. Like full disclosure, I'm like the worst person to speak to about this. I'm just a secretary here, and I've just been assigned to find someone who would be able to take on these referrals.
Oh, so, gotcha. Okay.
Yes, I mean, to explain more, I'm really gonna have to set you up an appointment with my boss, like before I butcher the explanation of how everything works. Yeah, I mean, he was hoping to get in touch with the owner or anything like that. Is the owner around? Would he be able to set up an appointment real quick?
So that's how you get past the what is this? You simply say, I'm just
play dumb
to tell you.
Exactly. You play dumb, which is perfect because what gatekeeper is going to be like, nah, they're going to be like, oh, fuck. They're going to be like, dude, my boss is going to hate me if I don't refer. Like, this guy sounds super sweet. And how it works. So really importantly, what works the best on these things is that downward inflection. So the way that I go, yeah. Do you guys offer
like you're an unsure student and you're
exactly
sure what you're doing?
Hi, Jeff. How are you doing today? Do you guys take on personal, like straight away they'll hang up on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but like, hey, how you doing today? Yeah, good. Do you guys offer personal training? Get to it and then play dumb. Like, look, man, I'm just a secretary here. I'm gonna have to set you up an appointment with my boss.
My first job. I don't know what I'm doing.
Exactly. They play dumb, and then what happens next is they either say, yeah, he's in right now. Like, I'll hand you the phone, and then they do the exact same thing. Hey, would you be able to take on thing? I'll have to set up an appointment with my boss, or they just book appointment directly with their boss. And so that's when what they'll do is they'll come in here, they'll do their appointment scheduler. So if they click on that button right here, they'll actually go in and they'll set an appointment with one of our closers. Okay. And again, commission. Nobody is working for us full time. Okay. Like Jasper here, absolute legend. Big shout out to Jasper, but he takes 20% of every close, which is fucking awesome. Right. And the appointment setters are getting $15 per appointment set. They're setting so many, like, I'll give you an example. I don't think there's anything like,
well, if there is, it's too late.
Exactly. Like they're just gym names, you know what I mean? But like, check this out. It's just like, you know, in one day, I mean, some days are more than others. Today is like, I think they've just started. But new appointment book, Fitness Connection, the San Clement Gym, Merva Orange Theory, Export Fitness, Southport Fitness, and just boom, every single day, Anytime Fitness, Be Fit Gym, Bay Club, Personal Training Team, OB, whatever the hell that's called, Aesthetic Climbing Gym. And so they're just going every single day. And so our appointment setters, they make this a full-time job, right? They don't need another job because they're just setting appointments for us all day, every day, right?
All right, let me take a step back. We're capping out on Jeff's, I just call myself James, on Jeff's brain space here. Okay, if I'm understanding correctly, right? You've solved the I don't have enough appointments for my agency problem by getting people to cold call for you, right?
100%.
The problem is that you got to pay them full time, and then you got to train them and got to deal with all their bullshit. And you're like, no, there's a better way. I'm just going to put up a post on my Facebook profile or wherever. When they say I'm in, I make them watch a series of videos and apply. And you can't show the bot yet, but the bot basically says, set us a 1 to 2 minute video of you. Cool. Then you pick 3 to 5 people and you give them a whole bunch of places to call. Where do you get that from? Upwork, spend $50, you got 5,000 name, number, and emails. Is that correct?
Right.
And then you give them a script where like the chances of them having success are much higher than normal. And you're only paying for any of this when you've gotten on the phone with somebody that recognizes why you're calling.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Cool, like, right? I know.
Oh my. That's so cool.
I know, dude. It's so sick. Dude, we haven't even gotten into the cool parts yet. When you see what the else is automated, dude, your mind's gonna be blown, man.
That's so cool. All right, go on.
So just to give you an idea of like what gets sent through. So like business owner name, business owner email, like a bunch of information, right? This is all gonna get Zapiered to a Google Sheet. Notes from the call, business name. So like, you know, the cool part about this is they do like the business contact name. If they couldn't get through to the owner, it's like Sally at the front desk, right? Mm-hmm. And some notes from Cole. Jim, who is the owner, is on a ski holiday with his family. And then my closer is going to go on his first call and be like, hey, this is Jim, right? Yeah. One of my assistants set an appointment for us. Is this still a good time for you? And he's gonna be like, yeah, I remember. That's awesome. I've been looking forward to this call. And you go like, cool. Yeah, Sally said you were on a skiing trip with the family. How was that? Awesome. Like off the bat rapport, right? So we've kind of set it up in a perfect flow, and then kind of continuing what happens next. Our closer does like I don't want to call it a 2-call close because it's not a 2-call close. The first call lasts 5 minutes. So that's kind of how we push it. It's a 5-minute call, and it's his little qualifying call. So they're going to go and he's going to say, awesome, man. Yeah, really glad that we got a time to connect. I'm super back to back right now. I'm sure you're just as busy. I've literally got 5 minutes right now. My assistants set me totally back to back today. But what I want to quickly do is, just find out a bit about you, if you're in a position and like, if you'd be stoked to take on some referrals for personal training, and you'd be a good fit, then let's set a proper time to chat maybe tomorrow. Sit down for a good proper 30 minutes, an hour, and I can explain to you exactly how our referral program works. What the costs are involved. Very important line here. He needs to give you permission to set a sales call, right?
Yeah.
What the costs are involved, and what the next steps would be if you want to kind of jump on board. The guy's gonna be like, cool. You'll give him a very brief thing. This is very much for rapport, because still you're just this first call is basically just you've been given permission to cold call the owner, right? Does that make sense? So it's still very much a cold call, and you just build fucking rapport and make it cool, make it fun. You have this like lead referral program. When they get you to the pressing questions, which are gonna make them like give them the option to either decide, you know, if you break that, I told you about this book yesterday, actually, when we spoke, the Pitch Anything has this really, really great chapter on the reptile brain and keeping their dopamine. Like if I satisfy their dopamine, they have now the choice to either get on that second call or not, right? Yeah. So you keep it still pretty vague. We work with, you know, we work with gyms, and, you know, we have a proprietary system that basically allows us to send you like super qualified leads straight through your door. About 5 to 10 a week is what you can expect. And when they start getting like, okay, but how does it work? How much does it cost? Look, man, I really have to bounce, you know,
that's like I said, why you said 5 minutes.
Exactly. So I've only got 5 minutes right now. And, you know, but you really do sound awesome. I really love speaking with you right now. So let's do this. I mean, what's your day like tomorrow? How about same time tomorrow? What's maybe at closing time? Let's do a proper good, like, you know, I'll send you a Zoom link. That way we can actually see each other's face, and, you know, we'll go through the how it works, and then you do, everybody knows the intro, the discovery questions, the thing. And it's like that one cold close kind of now gets set as that one cold close inbound lead structure is what it gets set at.
So you're only paying $15 when you're on the phone with somebody that you have a real conversation with that lines up to an actual sales call.
Yeah, exactly. So
you said it's only 5 minutes, so you can't go into depth. It's just to get the positive feelings there, so that when you're calling the second time, you're not a complete and total stranger.
Exactly. Now I have a warm sales call. You know what I mean? I've gotten permission. I've actually gotten the owner's permission. My closer's gotten the owner's permission to set a sales call, right?
That's because so fucking cool.
Cool, right? It's fucking awesome, right? The owner has said 100%, cool. Let's book a time tomorrow. I want to know what the costs are involved. I am intrigued. It does sound interesting. Let's sit down.
That's so awesome.
Dude, cool, right? Dude, we haven't even gotten to the cool part, man.
Oh, that's not even the good stuff. I'm just amazed. That's not even the cool. Like, oh, look, the colors, the excitement. So you're telling me something better. Okay, go on.
Yeah, exactly. So, if everyone is still with me, let's see if anyone in the comments has a question, actually. If anyone in the comments has a question, or if you just think that was fucking awesome, give us a 9 in the comments if that was just awesome, blew your mind. Or just ask some questions. If you have any questions at all, just like shoot them down. Let's see if we are still good. Is that my mouse moving? Yeah. So we're cool. If you guys are happy, if you're down, if you're ready, give me woohoo if you want me to jump into like the second part of this little 3-part system. I'm super stoked about is the CRM. Okay. So now I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, okay, but I'm just like a one-man band. Like, okay, Mike, I totally get that I can do all of that whilst being a one-man band. I have my team built out. But Mike, how the fuck am I going to handle like 20 appointments every week and like, 100 appointments? How am I going to manage that? I'm just a one-man band. You know what I mean?
You said like that. Right now you're getting like 300 appointments a week. Is that correct?
No. About 300 appointments a month.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So first of all, that's with like quite a few appointment setters now. Like what you can do easily in a heartbeat is start with like 2 appointment setters, which are still a shit ton. To give you an idea, each appointment setters call for about 4 hours a day, 2 in the morning, like 10 a.m. and 2 in the evening at about 4 a.m. because that's when like business owners are chilling mostly. And they'll set about 2 appointments an hour, and like just do the math. It adds up super fast how many appointments you're getting set a day, right?
Yep.
So you can start it with literally just 1 or 2 guys. You'll be totally fine. But the reason why it's really possible to do this as a one-man band without getting stressed out is because, like I said at the beginning of this call, what I like to think about is, can I do this? I think a nicer way to put this is, can I do this 10x times without any more effort on my part? I think why I got obsessed with this is I have a pretty busy mind. I think I get anxious quickly. So I think a nicer way to put it is, can I do this with the same level of stress? Can I do this 10 more times without getting any more stressed out, without losing any more sleep? And that's kind of where our little like CRM dashboard thing comes in. And so what I've done, this is where like sensitive information will be. So I've like done a little demo board for us. But we have now built out this entire thing. Again, we have no staff. I don't need people to do onboarding. I don't need people that's going to quickly type up emails. Everything kind of gets done in a natural flow, right? And it's all done through Zapier. I'm like a Zapier like addict, and you can see like
how is this company not like the most valuable company on the whole planet? Like,
dude, like
the whole internet. I don't understand how they're not like more popular.
Dude, Zapier, I swear, I like, and when I think, you know what it is? It's when people tell me like, oh man, but I don't know how to use Zapier. I swear to God, I promise you, if anyone is watching right now, like, give me a Z in the chat if like if you've never used Zapier before, or it's something that like you're unsure of how to use. Okay,
it's like Lego blocks, guys. Like,
it's like if you go in there, like, actually, let's go to dashboard right now. If you go to your like Zapier dashboard and you're like a complete like dingus and you have no idea how to do stuff, and I'll give you an idea. Like when a call is booked on that calendar, like Mr. Prospect is going to get dropped in here. Okay. And what I wanted to happen was when my closer books that second call, books that closing call, and drops their name in there, I needed an email to get sent out. I kind of want to have the prospect have something to chew on, okay? Which looks like this. It's like an email like this. And if you click on it, it goes to this, which is like an actual, like, you know, let's get them warm and let's get them ready to buy on this third call, okay? Mm-hmm. I needed this to happen on Automate, right? And so what I did was I just literally set up a little active campaign automation. I'm like, okay, so how can I make this name, like the way we lay it out is like, first name, last name as the card name, gym name as the label, and the description is their email. Okay, so now I've got all the variables I could possibly need to get added into ActiveCampaign. And if you knew absolutely nothing about Zapier, I'll just go like Trello, and I want something to happen with ActiveCampaign. I need that card to go. So when this happens, when card is moved to a list,
you have to like think about how you're architecting that card, right? Just like some higher brain power in there a little bit.
It was a complete trial and error. It was like, gotcha. I got to the end, I was like, fuck. I got to the end, I had this whole beautiful thing, and I was like, fuck, it didn't work. Yeah. So then eventually all I needed to know was like, I needed all three variables on them and I needed them separate. So actually like the label could be the email and the name could be the thing. It really doesn't matter. I just needed all three of those variables and I needed them separate. And then I kind of went back and forth and I was like, okay, nice. Zapier can actually pull label names and can pull this as the separate names and can pull that. And I was like, okay, perfect. So I went back to Zapier and it's literally, you know, when card is moved to list, I need to add contact to automation. I was like, holy shit, that's it.
Yeah.
Just use Zap, you know, just click it. Now you're done. It's going to ask you what list, what name, what automation, done. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit, nice. So then literally like that, I was like, okay, damn, we can literally set this whole thing up on Automate, right? So that's kind of our whole thing is like, we built out this entire little CRM and then kind of getting to like the end, the cool part of I think the thing I love the most about this CRM is that, you know, you send out this like sexy little page, gets them really ready to buy. It's a little sales thing.
When do they get this page again? Is it after the first call?
After the closer's first call, they've booked their sales call for tomorrow. And awesome, man, I'm just going to send you some stuff to chew on before this call.
That's still the 5-minute intro, right?
Exactly. Still super vague. You can see what I've actually done is like everything is like pretty vague in here. Oh no, this is pretty straightforward, I think. And you basically just want to get them ready to buy. Show your team, show your thing, become legitimate. If you have any video testimonials, I recommend either like getting some video testimonials and then throwing them up at this point. This is, you know, right now, again, still, you're just somebody that's called them. And up till now, all of this can be faked. You know what I mean? How easily can I just like throw up that screenshot and put like these fancy numbers and a thing and all of this can be faked. The best thing you could do, like this was so nice. I was so happy this guy did this for us. Is like the gym in the background, his little hat, his little thing, his little name tag. I was like, yes.
That's hard to fake.
So perfect, you know? So just legitimize it as much as possible because you want to kind of break away from that. This is just some person that's called me and this is like an actual guy that's going to help me. And like you can see, each portal, each email is super tailored. This is for gyms. This is going out to no one but gyms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then we just do it at scale. And so what happens next is when this name, so now, you know, we've sent the more info. When this name gets dropped in here, what's going to happen is our proposal. So we use PandaDocs, an exact same thing. You know, let's go to Zapier and you want to just integrate Trello card, move to list, and PandaDoc create document, right?
Then
so what's going to happen next?
Yeah,
exactly. This is our like PandaDoc proposal. and it includes like all of their variables. So like client name, client email, client company. Exactly. And it's going to pull, and like, check this out here. So right now in the card, I have client name, I have client email, and I have client company. And it's going to populate the whole thing, and it will just populate here, and just, showcase our little thing. And it will go through, same kind of thing, our team, what you get, that value stack, what it cost, our guarantee, la la la. And what's cool about PandaDocs is that they can sign in here and pay with their credit card. So like, just like Docu, it's kind of a mashup of like DocuSign and pay funnels and a sales page, which I love, because like, again, still, it's not like they've watched like an hour-long VSL from us, or like they were a referral. We're still some guys that we've only really spoken for, an hour and a half in total. There's 2 5-minute calls and probably like a really nice long Zoom call and whatever. So again, you just want to legitimize yourself as much as possible. Throw this up, and then kind of the trick to it is I'm not concerned. Like, we just have a bunch of these. So let's say you're getting like, I kind of figured out our like rate, which I thought would be nice, but let's say you're getting about 100 appointments booked a month, just 100, which is super chill. It already sounds crazy. You'd be like, I can handle 100 appointments a month. You can, 100% you can, because your closer is going to be taking all of those appointments, right? Of those 100 calls booked, probably 60% will turn into like actual, okay, that I get where you're coming from. That sounds interesting. I kind of know what you're about to, I think I have an idea of what you're about to sell me. I've heard of it before. But yeah, I mean, this is something we actually need if that's it. So let's book a sales call, right? So about 60% of these turn into these, right? And you just have again, just playing a numbers game, and about out of every 60 of these that get sent out. So now we're on 60% of this, about 40% go to here, right? We like to qualify pretty hard. We want to know that they are interested. So it ends up being about like, 40 out of now the 100 go here, right?
So there's 3 steps to the phone calls. There's the 5-minute, right? Then there's the send more info call. And then do you schedule a third call to sign and pay, or
No. Exactly. So it's the 5-minute, like the 5-minute appointment setter. So that's like, consider that my email marketing or my ads. That's like
where you pay somebody $15 for that.
Exactly. So now I pay $15 for a name to get into here. Like 60%, something like that's going to get into here. Like the closer is going to take that first call, and they'll be like, yeah, that sounds interesting. Let's book a call.
Oh, because sometimes the 5-minute call, like, I don't know who you are. I hate you. I don't want to buy it. Goodbye.
Exactly. And so ping, or they just say, oh, okay. Like I know where you're coming from. Look, we have somebody. Thanks. You know what I mean? So about 60% are going to go into an actual, okay, that sounds interesting. Let's book a sales call for tomorrow. Not a sales call.
So let's just say it's $30 to do a second call.
Exactly. Right. And so, about out of these, you'll probably get about like 40 people in proposal sent, right? As in, yeah, that sounds awesome. Even if they're just being polite, how many people are just going to be polite and be like, yeah, send me the proposal, whatever.
Yeah, that sounds great. Perfect.
Exactly. Yeah, we need that. Let's do it. And out of about like, we're just dropping names in here, like on Automate every single day. I'm sitting back and names are getting dropped in here, which means these proposals are getting sent out like ping, 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 ping. And about 10 to 20% of these are going to actually get paid, right?
Okay.
Which is like awesome. I'm not concerned. Every time that this gets sent out, that feeling like when you were on a phone with somebody and you're like, oh, this guy's perfect. I know I can help him. And like, he has to close, man. He has to join our agency, whatever. Like, we have completely alleviated that like stress, because what we'll do is we'll just play a numbers game. We'll just get as many people as possible in here as quick as possible, and you can scale it like Facebook ads. That's kind of the beauty of this system. I think that's really, I got into like, one thing that got me so obsessed was I was in a program with Dan Henry. Do you know his like,
I took his, that was my Ty Lopez moment. Yeah.
Exactly. No. So not the agency one, but he has this new program for webinars and shit.
Oh no, I haven't taken it. No.
So sick, dude. So sick. But that's when I was like, oh my God, you can build a funnel out of anything, man. So that's kind of what I got. I was just like, okay, so it's $15 per lead, about $30 per sales call booked, in this, get sent out like that. And then we just get loads of those sent out. Lots of clicks. I got lots of clicks, X amount of clicks onto my sales page, which equals X amount of purchases. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how we saw it. So yeah, we just play a numbers game and just get this sent out like all the time. You know what I mean? And yeah, about 10 to 20% close. And so kind of doing the math, if you had just 100 appointments booked every single month, and you get like 60 of these sales calls booked, which means that you get like 40 proposals sent out and like 10 to 20% close. You can close like 48 new clients every single month, like with hella consistency. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like even more consistent than Facebook ads. Cause like, fuck, we all know how those things work at scale. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, it's just, I think as similar consistency to email marketing, you know what I mean? It's going to fluctuate and it's going to thing, but it's just like this database that you have. I know these contacts, I can help them. You do a blast, you get X amount of clicks, which equals X amount of sales calls, which equals X amount of proposals sent out, which equals X amount of new clients. You know what I mean? And like so closing, awesome, right? And closing 4 to 8 clients consistently every single month. And this is really like 2 months old at our agency. And first month was like a solid like 4 clients closed, and we were like, holy shit, we're on something. And next month was like a solid 8 clients closed. And so this is now where we are now. And like now we're literally on track perfectly for like 300 sales appointments booked a month. We'll probably close like 10 new clients, and you can just, it's just like adding up. Okay.
All right. So let me ask you this then. Somebody signs and then they pay. Are you doing the ads, or do you have somebody, like, how does that work? Right.
I'm so glad you asked, man. So let's, you know what we'll do? We're going to save that live for another time because it's insane, but I'll give you guys a brief idea of how that works. If we went into that, which I would absolutely love to do, but we're like literally double the time of this call. So what Zapier is going to do, okay? So happy you asked. So what Zapier is going to do is it reads the information from this proposal sent, and it can find that card back in my Trello board, okay? And it's going to move this card into close. So what happens next? You know, what happens next? Another active, now when a card is moved into close, Zapier is going to integrate this with ActiveCampaign, and a new automated email is going to go out. That email is going to say, congratulations, you've made an awesome choice. Welcome to the family. Here is your onboarding funnel. Please go through this funnel, okay? So fuck a kickoff call. Just please go through this funnel. By the time you're at the end of this funnel, you're going to have everything you need. So they'll go through, they'll give account access instructions. They'll download all of the things that, like if you're using high level or lead owl, you'll make sure that they download those during the funnel or whatever they need. They'll fill in their forms. Those forms go to, okay, then they'll get to their membership area. Okay, but what happens on our end is that when a form gets filled, we have, just like we have a little portal for our appointment setters where they get trained, ready, we have a portal for virtual assistants, okay? And the reason why I'm very, very, very specific, the reason why we ended up going with data miners instead of softwares to get this call sheet is because I don't need a karate studio. I don't need a yoga studio. I need a mid-tier, like mom and pop style gym that's making like $150,000 to $200,000 a year. That does one very specific thing. You have memberships, you have like general gym memberships, you offer personal training, and you have group training fitness sessions. Okay. Like all gyms of that size do the exact same thing. Okay. The reason why is because I have 3 very fucking specific Facebook ad campaigns. Okay. And what happens when you purchase is that you'll go through the funnel. That information is going to get sent to one of our VAs, and we're going to say, all right, Mr. VA, on ad account 31276, I need a 1-year membership giveaway campaign set up for me, please. Oh my God. Cost me $20, dude. It takes him about 2 hours for about $10 an hour. Cost me about $20. And that client's month's campaign, boom, set up, done.
That's crazy.
Dude, I know. I've gotten obsessed with these fucking portals, man.
This is crazy. All right, let me take a step back. You put up a post, you get people cold calling for you. You only pay when you get a cold call and a 5-minute call, right? 5-minute call, half of them are like, yeah, let's do it. The other half are like, I don't know who you are. For the yeah, let's do it. Great. Just so you know, this is 5 minutes. Thanks for asking, but I'm triple booked. You want to talk tomorrow at the same time? Yeah, fine. Let's talk. All right, cool. So what have you done this? Blah, blah, blah. Some basic pitch questions, selling questions. Yeah, if you're interested, it costs you this amount of money. What do you say we get started? Sure. Then they send a proposal. They fill it out. They pay it. And then Zapier does its magic. And they get an onboarding form. They fill out the onboarding form that gets sent to a VA who fulfills all your Facebook ads done for you for 20 fucking bucks overnight. What am I doing with my life, Michael? What the hell?
Dude, I know it's so brand new, and like, dude, it's just like, and the more you do it, I swear to God, if you start doing this, like these portals, I have a fucking portal for everything. You have no idea. I like lie at 2 a.m. and I'm like, oh my God, that could be like,
I can make a portal.
I can make a portal for it. And now literally everything just gets a portal. You can get anybody to do it off commission. You alleviate the need for training. You can get anybody in, and most of the time you can get a job that normally took you those hours, which added that stress to you. You know, that feeling when like your Stripe goes ping and you have a new client, and like you know that feeling where your heart is like, oh fuck, I have to do something now. Like what if they don't like it? What if is it going to be good? Is it going to be? You know what I mean? Like now that just like I go ping and I like, oh nice. I just roll over and I go back to sleep. You know what I mean? And it's like
insane. This is so cool. The problem right now, by the way, is we've run out of time.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna have to do another one, and I can do the whole thing again on fulfillment side, man.
This is crazy. Are you open to a few 15-minute strategy calls and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. Ladies and gents, so if getting an overview of how engineering and systems and how going from a freelancer to an agency owner to a systemized agency owner is really like opened your eyes and makes you say, holy shit, I've been doing it wrong. And now I see the light, you know what I mean? And if chatting with Michael Lawrence in a 15-minute one-on-one conversation or in a group call will like help you level up or pay it forward, or if you just want to do it so that you can do this, hashtag Michael My Face. He and I will pick 3 people, and it'll be a one-on-one or group call, but I'll introduce you individually and put you in a position where you can have a conversation with them about this system, because I feel pretty confident that anybody watching this could do this if they just knew how to do it correctly, right?
Absolutely. Like you literally don't need to be like I said, I'm not the smartest guy in the room. It's just fucking Zapier. Zapier does all the work for you. You have a pretty portal here. It does all the work for you.
Absolutely fantastic. What I like the most, by the way, is you have 3 ads that already work. You know that they work, right? And you're sick and tired of saying, I got to figure out if it's going to work for my client. You're saying, screw that. Yeah. I'm going to find clients that already work with my ads.
Exactly.
Data miners, right?
Exactly. And like next to the data miners, which makes it like near perfect, what makes it 100% perfect? Hey, do you offer personal training? No, sorry. Okay, no problem. Thank you. Boom.
Yeah. Although what gym doesn't offer personal training?
Exactly. Well, if it's like super small, you can get a little mom and pop. I know that the sales call is going to be a waste of time. They can't afford me. Or like, do you offer personal training? Like, no, we're a yoga studio, and the small chance. Like, oh, sorry. Never mind. Thank you so much. Bye.
Fan-fucking-tastic. Holy shit. I've never sat to the side of my chair in any interview, by the way. You fucking blew me away with this.
Dude, I'm so stoked. I swear I've been so excited to
dream, man. Like this is like you're going from a Honda Civic to a fucking Koenigsegg. You're like, I didn't even know that like you could go that far. You know, I didn't even know that was a type of thing. Like, this is insane, dude. Great.
Dude, I'm so happy you enjoyed it, man. I've been like so stoked to show you. I swear, since we like first booked this thing, which was like so long ago, so we had to keep us going. Dude, I've been so stoked to show you, man.
Absolutely nuts. I think that's it. Yeah, we're gonna have to do another one to figure out the back end and all that. We've got a bunch of people that like hashtag Michael My Face. I'm gonna introduce you guys later.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Everyone that said Michael My Face, I'm super excited to talk to you guys. It will really take you. Trust me, anybody is able to set this thing up. It's like not crazy at all. And 100%, like we're straight in this transition phase. You know what I mean? This is, I think what I've just shown you is like our done and finished thing, but like, you know, all these little things like the send more info was like added in later, and then this changed and that, you know what I mean? I think this is it, but like it's not insane to like go through this phase. You know what I mean? It's just like setting it up, you know?
You're supposed to fail forward. That's how this whole thing works.
Exactly. You have no idea how many people we pissed off during this. Some people telling us, and then, you know what I mean? How many phone numbers we burnt through. You know what I mean? You're not going to end your career. No one gives a fuck. You know what I mean?
Very cool. Very well done. I'm going to bring this to a close. I think there's a way to stop streaming without hanging up. So I'm going to see what happens.
I think there is. Let's see.
I got the button right there. But yeah, dude, great effing job. Blows my mind. Is there like any last comments, question, concerns, thoughts, or ideas from your end that like you like last call or anything like that you want to go over?
Yeah, not much. I think, you know, like everybody that was watching, again, first of all, thank you so fucking much for hanging out. That was really awesome. If you have any questions afterwards while you're watching the replay, I just encourage you, like literally you could set this up just by watching this live. It's like so freaking easy. Just go back, watch it again. If you have any questions, anything like that, just feel free to DM me or drop them in the comments. You know, Jeff and I will get back to you. It's like, yeah, anything. Don't be afraid. Don't hesitate to reach out. I live on Facebook, so I'm here.
Well done. Going from pizza boy to systems engineer, fucking $1 million. Jesus Christ. All right. I'm going to click live stream. Everyone go kick some ass, take some names, go make some money. See you guys later. Bye.
Cheers, guys.